All right, guys, what is good? What's going on? I don't even have the camera on. Hold up, man. You boy forgot all about that. Forgot all about it, man. All right, we should be good now. We should be good now. Repping my old college today. And the hat's on all fucked up. See how that looks? Looks like shit, but that's all right. Matter of fact, I still got the fucking tag back here. I don't know why, but needed to change the clothes. Look at that. Do you see it? Lone Star. Lone Star College, man. Lone Star College. I haven't been there in years. Shit, if anything, I'm on academic probation, so I'm never going back. Never going back to that bullshit. But I wanted to wear something different. Know what I'm saying? Was good to Ali, Nicholas, Naruto, Kevin, Willow, Katarina, Cameron, Sean, 2020, Maximiliano, Akinola, Tiago, Stephanie. What up, what up? Glad you guys are here. Drop a like. Let me know that you're here as well. We always get more viewers than likes because everybody hates me. You know? Everybody hates me. They're like, screw you, John. Screw you. We don't want to like. We don't want to like. It's too much work. I get it. I understand. Anyway, if you were up for London, our target that we had for yesterday was met during London. That's awkward, but not unheard of. Awkward, but not unheard of. This morning, we also had Flash PMI. at 8:45. So about 15 minutes after the open of the stock exchange. Again, awkward, but not unheard of. My package won't be here between 1 and 4. Shit. Okay. Won't be here in time for the stream. That's bullshit. But it's cool. Amazon. They hate me too. They hate me too, man. You know that show Everybody Hates Chris? Everybody hates John. I was just kidding. We don't have a victim mentality here. The Stoics would absolutely despise that. They would say you're not a victim. And I agree. I agree. Love it, love it. That's why I've been sharing it so much, man. I've been sharing Stoic philosophy, book recommendations. That's why I have a book page now, all that shit. And I make fucking like $6 a month from all those Amazon commissions. Oh shit. You know? So that's cool too. That's cool too. What's good, South Girl Era? Trillionaire. Nick, I think that's how your name. Greetings from Germany. Oh, first time here. Welcome, man. Welcome. Today's probably gonna be a little bit of. Today's just not really tradable in my opinion. We'll look and we'll try and find something, but I think if this is your first time here, I think your time would be better spent watching recordings. But you know, it's all gravy either way. What's good? How do you say that? Wambui. I think that's how you say that. If I mispronounce that, let me know. I'll try and get it right. Is your favorite NFL team Dallas? I don't even watch sports, bro. Sports is bullshit. It's all garbage. It's all the Roman circus. Have you ever seen that clip? Actually, you know what? I want to see if I can find that clip real quick before we get into it. Before we get into today's shit. I'm not exactly sure which video it is, so just give me a second here. William Cooper, the Roman circus. Let me share my computer sound again. It might be this one.
And all journalists know that there's some things you don't write about and you don't talk about because you'll lose your job. And that's where the control is. And that's why they pay anchormen like Dan Rather $2 million a year. Because he doesn't question them. He knows that if he goes against them, he's going to lose $2 million a year. Do you think a man that looks pretty and sits in front of a TV camera for the 6 o'clock news is worth $2 million a year? No way. I don't care how long he works and I don't care what he does. There is no job worth $2 million a year. That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus.
Right here, right here.
What does the emperor do when the people become restive? And when the people are asking questions and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated, so they don't ever question the emperor. That's why they pay a player on a football team or a baseball team $1 million or $2 million or $3 million a year. It is the Roman circus.
Now, I don't know when. I hope you guys heard that. Now, I don't know when exactly that was recorded, but that was only $1 or $2 million, bro. People like, I have nothing against Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi or like any of the, soccer players who make the most money, like in any athlete ever. He would be probably disgusted with how much money, because he was talking about like $1 or $2 million. I mean, those, bro, Ronaldo and Messi, shit, hundreds of millions, bro. But anyway, I wanted to show you that clip because I think, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in my next book, which I know I talk about a lot, but that's all right here. Okay. I mean, I have pages and fucking all kind of shit. Okay. This is all related to my next book, and that's probably going to be part of it. I might quote that guy, sports and all that. So look, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, if you watch sports, like stop watching sports. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like if you like it, cool. My friend, he loves soccer. He watches soccer all the time. Like, I don't mind doing that in my leisure time. But like, honestly, I don't care. If a team wins or loses, who gives a damn? It's all rigged anyway. There was a guy, or it might have been a girl, I don't know. But there was a person who put like $1 million up in the middle of the game. And then all of a sudden, the other team comes back and scores like 3 touchdowns to win, and that person lost that $1 million. It's like, bro, it's not even hidden anymore. It's so blatantly obvious that sports are rigged. And I say that, it's like, all right, John, well, how's that related to trading? It's all the same. It's all rigged. It's all the Roman circus, if you will. So no, I don't really watch sports. I don't care about sports. If anything, I care about chips and nachos and beer and cigars on game day. That's what I care about. It's like, oh, fuck, who's playing? Where's the beer at? Oh, this team's on fire. My cigar's on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm about. So hopefully that does enough for your question regarding that. Entertainment over the truth, the Matrix, exactly. Read games that suppose rituals behind them, like the one gematria dude who puts all together the numbers. I mean, I was in a group that was dealing with sports betting, and they were using geometry, like gematria or whatever the fuck, for sports teams, and it went okay. But I mean, it's all bullshit, bro. And gematria is so mainstream now that the people who rig games probably go against gematria as well. Like, oh, it's the 7th season and it's the 7th game. It's the fucking 7th day of the week. 7 letters in their middle name. So they're going to score fucking 7 points or some shit. Like, they're going to go against that too. In my opinion. I mean, I don't know, but it's all bullshit. That's what I know. So there's that. Sports had fun growing up and led to a lot of friendships, but definitely lost interest over the years. Well, same thing with music. Music was all right. And then it was around 2010. I have a Facebook post from 2010. It says, I'm fucking done with the radio. That's what it says. It's like, I'm fucking done with this radio shit. And that's really around the time I started to disconnect. And I disconnected from a lot of shit too. Because I talk about how, people used to be fake and stuff like that. Like, I dated girls like that. Where, it's all bitching and attitude and PMSing and all that shit. Like, sorry if I offend you, but that's just how it is. And then it's like, oh, you get in front of other people. It's, hey, how you doing? This is my best friend. Like, what the fuck? That was not you 10 minutes ago. It's It's all bullshit, bro. And that's why I'm writing books on this kind of shit, because it's like people need to know, especially children. Not children, but like teenagers. They need to know that they are being fucked over bad. Because nobody really told me. I had to figure it out. Literally, I was sitting in my cell one day and in school detention. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? What am I doing here? What are we doing here? I'm inside of a school building, learning nothing, being forced to write rules and regulations. Like, what am I doing with my life? This is a waste. But it's illegal if I leave school and go home. Like, this is garbage. And that's when I knew. That's when I knew something was wrong. And that's also what I think made it a lot easier to believe that the markets are rigged. And that's why I trust. I mean, I have, you know, I've been doing this 9.5 years, okay? I didn't trade this way from the jump, but I have many, many years of experience with market manipulation. And it's just so easy now. Like, why do you think I tweeted yesterday in the market review, right? And I tweeted, oh, I think we're going to run for trailing stops. And then we dropped down right into a mitigation, and then we sent for liquidity, right? We sent for trailing stops, which I had tweeted beforehand. It's like, why do you think I can do that? Because it's just so repetitive and it's trustworthy. And that's why I'm right more than I am wrong. The only time I'm wrong is if I interpret it wrong. You know? So just misinterpretation. But anyway, it's almost like using indicators. What do you mean? Hip hop is rigged? Oh shit. That's why I notice when I'm getting older, life be so storybook. I swear it's like everything has happened in my life. Sometimes I'll be like, bruh, this is why is this fucked up? Storybook. Really something I'd watch on TV. Yeah. My life is a movie. Right. It is. Most won't figure it out. They'll play the victim instead of learning life lessons and applying the lessons with practice. Well, that's why my book is literally like life lessons. And I touch on all kind of shit. And I've learned so much about philosophy, I have to include that now too, which means I have to restructure the entire book. It's a lot of work, man. Look, I'll tell you what, I will probably after this book is done, I will probably never write a fucking book again. If there's one thing I'm not good at, it's writing a book quickly. I'll tell you that. Now it's going to be thorough. It's not going to be as long as like the 48 Laws of Power, but it's going to be something that is going to be passed on from generation to generation. That's the point of it, you know? Because here's the thing, man. You know, I have hundreds of books, and I think the ideal, I wouldn't do this because it's like plagiarism, but I think the greatest book that could ever be written, other than like, you know, your religious text or whatever, that aside, the second best I think ever put together would be a compilation of the greatest like pieces from the greatest books, you know, like the one-liners from the Stoics, some one-liners from personal development gurus, right? And just like the best of the best, and put all that in one book, and that is going to be a banger. And that's essentially kind of what I'm building on the side as well, like with my notes and stuff like that. I have a note card system I've shown you before, and that's, I'm not going to publish that, but that's what I am putting together. Quotes and not articles per se, but, you know, just like bits and pieces of the really good works, and that is going to be phenomenal. And when my friend's kid gets older, I'm going to probably pass that along to him as well. So that's what I plan on doing. Launched that coup in Russia last month, just died in a plane crash. You reckon his plane was rigged? It probably was. They kill anybody, bro. They haven't got Andrew Tate yet, but it might happen. Not sure. Like Gematria is setting up to see one thing, but the market manipulates to do the opposite. Right. Thanks, Naruto. Appreciate it, there. Would you say you learned more about being or when would you say you learned more about being a Stoic? Would you say you became a Stoic before you became a successful trader? No, hell no. No, I don't even consider myself a Stoic. I mean, that's a really powerful statement. Like, that's shit. Even the philosophers would probably tell you, like, oh, I'm not a philosopher. Like Marcus Aurelius, he wouldn't tell you, like, oh, I'm a philosopher. He wouldn't tell you that. He wouldn't tell you I'm a Stoic. They wouldn't say that. There was somebody the other day on YouTube, I think it was Facebook, and they said something, and I commented, and I was like, I'm a part-time aspiring philosopher. Because that's what I'm always going to be, an aspiring Stoic or like an aspiring philosopher. I wouldn't just call myself a philosopher. You know, so at this point in humanity, almost no thoughts are original. You know, everything we learn is from probably something else. You know, like an idea has been passed on beforehand. Like, perfect example, The Practice of Groundedness by Brad Stulberg. Everything about that book is Stoic philosophy, but he doesn't mention anybody. Doesn't mention Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, Epicurus, anybody. None. And I'm like, what the fuck? You have all these Stoic ideas, but yet none of the Stoics were mentioned. Right? So it's still a good book. It's a great book. Don't get me wrong. I've recommended it many times. The Practice of Groundedness by Brad Stulberg. But it's just like, it just goes to show that there's really no originality anymore. You know, the reason I think philosophy is easier when you get into your 20s, like I'm 29. Okay. So I've been studying philosophy, I think the last 2 years, it might be 3 at this point. But the reason that I resonate with it so much is because I have so much life experience. An 18-year-old who reads philosophy is not going to understand half the shit because they don't have any experience in the real world. They haven't been at a job. They probably haven't been in too many relationships. They haven't had any challenges in life. And Seneca talks about that too. He's like, the person who has faced no adversity you don't even know who you are because you haven't been challenged, you know? And so I've been through a lot of shit, man. Toxic relationships, been in the military for 4 years. Like, bro, been trading the markets for almost 10 years. Like, I have a lot of experience with different things. So a lot of the things they talk about, it's like, it's relatable. The same problems we have today were the same problems they had 2,000 years ago. Ain't shit new. Ain't shit new. People were liars and cheaters 2,000 years ago. People today are liars and cheaters in 2023. There's like no real difference. Okay. So part of me, and I talk about this in my book too, part of me believes that philosophy should be taught in school, even if it's minimal, even if it's just, I don't know, a 6-week program on learning about the Stoics, like a couple of days on Marcus Aurelius, a couple of days on Seneca, you know, like that, just at least an introduction in high school, maybe late middle school or even like late high school, I think should be taught in school, right? Just so they can at least get an introduction. Because that's the argument. That's the other side of the argument that people have when I bring this up. There's a chapter in my book. It's called Teachers Don't Teach and Students Don't Learn. Right? And that's what I talk about, the school system and all that bullshit. So I talked about this with a friend of mine and even some other people. And I talk about this. I'm like, bro, school is bullshit. And they should have taught X, Y, and Z. And it's a really great argument. But they tell me, they're like, oh, well, John, you know, the problem is, even if it was taught, the students wouldn't pay attention. The students wouldn't care about it. They're like, did you care about anything in school? And I'm like, you're right. That's a very valid point. But if we ring in some logic here, it is better to have been introduced to it and rejected it than it is to not have ever been introduced to it at all, because you were never given the option. You were never given a choice. So I still think that it's better at the end of the day to give somebody a choice than to not give them a choice at all. So to completely say no philosophy, no personal development, no wisdom, logic, ethics, virtues, whatever, like altogether, just toss it out the window. You don't even give people a chance. Right? That's what I think is fucked up. Because let's imagine for a second that, okay, Stoic philosophy, or even just philosophy in general, is introduced in high school. Okay. Are most of them going to say, this is bullshit, whatever? Probably. Probably. But a few of them will say, oh, you know what? This is pretty good stuff. I can focus on what I can control and not focus on what I can't control. That's a pretty good fucking idea. You know? It's like, at least give them a chance, bro. The fact that you take the chance away altogether, that's the problem that I have with the school system. So, when I found out about trading, when I found out about Stoic philosophy, when I found out that reading is fucking awesome, I tell everybody. I'm like, bro, you should trade Forex. This is before I was a futures trader. I'm like, yeah, you should trade Forex. You should get into the stock market. Made a little bit of money. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. Whatever. You know, it's like, all right. You can never come to me and say that I didn't tell you. John didn't put me on. John is over here making this money and he never told me. None of you fuckers can say that. Because I've been open about that since the jump. So philosophy, I didn't really introduce that until I knew that it was something that was beneficial. Because I was like, I had meditations for a long time. I was sitting on that bitch for like, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months before I ever read it. And then I read it and I was like, oh my God, I've been sitting on this gem. Like, why have I been sitting on this gem? And then that's when I got into I started picking up the other philosophy books, got more into Ryan Holiday's work. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is incredible. So that's when I started sharing it more and more and more. Because I'm like, yeah, traders need this especially. So you can never say that I gatekeeped any of this shit. None of it. I have not gatekeeped anything from you. Nothing. Because now you've been given the choice. Blue pill or red pill type shit. You know? You either read the things I tell you or suggest to you to read, or don't. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's not going to affect my life in either way. But I at least want to give you a choice. You know? But anyway, 22, I don't know how we got that far left field, but coming back to your original question is, I really learned more about being a Stoic probably the last 2 years. I've read so many books on, because last year I spent a lot more time on leadership. I was into John Maxwell's work. You know, great leaders ask great, or good leaders ask great questions, 17 laws of teamwork, and like all. I was really heavy into that because I was trying to fix the leadership ideas, you know, or at least try to fix leadership problems in the MLM industry. That's why I made that video on it. And I just was really trying to do my best to stay where I was at before coming to YouTube. But, you know, unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. Nobody really cares about leadership. They're just like, ah, fuck it. So it's like, all right, that's it. So, but outside of that, yeah, I've been reading a lot more Stoic philosophy. So I've bought other philosophy books, like I think Walden. I can't get into it. There's another book I have written by a woman, and it's a great book, but it is very advanced. Like I have to concentrate and read it, and it's hard for me to get through it. So even some of it, you know, sometimes when people write, if they write at a very high academic level or just a high English level, for me, it's like, okay, I need some shit that is easier, you know? So that's why like Ryan Holiday's books are easy to read. And then like the Gregory Hayes version of Meditations, the Modern Library one, that one's way easier to read than the Penguin Classics version. It's just easier to digest and easier to understand, right? So, because it gets very difficult and some of it gets very abstract too. And I have a very hard time following along with some of them. So I would say I probably read more modern day Stoic philosophy versus original text. Man, they just started. I just started mowing the lawn too. I swear they only mow the lawn when I fucking stream. It's like they looked up my schedule and we're like, all right, that's when we're gonna go out there. Oh, he streams at fucking noon. All right, cool. We'll be there at 12:30, type shit. But it's cool. Beverly says, I rewatched the last few Smart Money Stoic videos. So many gems. Appreciate that. What's good, Vadu? As someone that just got out of high school last year, I'll say this. Students will take the time and effort to learn if you give them the lesson and logic behind why it's important. Said that to all my friends. I didn't care about most of the shit in school because I know the logic behind it wasn't valuable to me. And a lot of people, then no one says how X plus Y squared bullshit, yeah, would be important to me anyway. It's not. I think it's, yeah, I know what you mean. They got the YouTube notifications turned on. Yeah, they do. They sure do. They never fucking show up on a Thursday when I don't stream. Only when I do stream. Like, damn, dude. Can't do shit around here, man. Can't do shit. Anyway, this is the full chart. This is the only way to have the entire quote on the bottom. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. So, what do we do today as far as the indices go? I don't know. Personally, I was bearish today. I was. But we are trading higher. So that tells you pretty much all you need to know. Just not, you know, it wasn't, the market didn't do what I thought it was going to do. So the reason for that is the Dow, we're in a daily imbalance. But if we drop down to a smaller time frame, though, I was looking at this earlier, and these lows were very close. Those two lows are very close together. Dow's our weakest index. I'm like, okay, that could easily be on the table. So this morning, around the open, I think it was, so here's our open here at 8:30, and then 8:45 is the, what was it, PMI, right? Yeah. Oh, everyone and their mom had PMI today. Euro, British pound, and dollar. Okay. So we had that at 8:45. So it's like, okay, well, we're trading lower. It looks like we're going to trade down here. It rallies up. There's a gap right there. This whole fucking thing's an imbalance. And it's like, all right, well, what do we do when we get here? You know, in the 5 minute, to be honest, I don't really think offered a lot. Because you could look at this, and you could look at this as an imbalance here. And I kind of thought that. I did screenshot it. I'm like, I'm going to watch it, but I'm not going to trade that. And so when you look at it here, first of all, this looks like shit. So you can feel free to write that down. This looks like doo-doo. When we trade here at 9:30, 9:40, it doesn't like break structure or anything on a 5 minute time frame. Like there's no obvious face ripping. So it's like, all right, you know, it doesn't really look shortable. Plus, and here's the thing too, and this is kind of a think of today like a continuation on yesterday, where yesterday was how to not get your face ripped off. And I talked about how, you know, pushing stops when you're trading in the opposite direction, right, of the overall buys. So when I'm looking at this area here, if you look at the other indices, they're almost getting ready to take these highs. So if the other two, like we'll come back to Dow in a minute. You look at S&P and like that 9:05, 9 o'clock, it takes the highs here. Okay. And then Nasdaq, it does same thing. It takes these highs. So you have two indices trading higher. S&P higher, Nasdaq higher. The Dow is slightly lower. So it's the same idea as yesterday. Remember I told you I told you a lot of shit. But one of the things was if the Nasdaq, we thought about going long, but the other two indices were bearish and that the other two indices would drag down the Nasdaq. Think of the inverse of that here, where it's like, okay, Dow is your weakest index today. Right? You see that in the price action, you see that in the numbers. Okay, and typical Dow Jones anyway, right? Nothing out of the ordinary there. But you have one index that's weak, but the other two are rallying. So that disqualifies Dow from being a short. It disqualifies it. Right? So, I mean, it does trade lower, but never breaks structure. It rallies straight into that imbalance, and the next candle closes higher. You're fucked. You're done. Right? No longer bearish, probably bullish. Imbalance here. This, I don't see this as a mitigation, but imbalance there, and then it gets sent for this liquidity. So I wouldn't have traded the laggard for a long. I mean, you can, but it's not usually what I do. But since I was more bearish than I was bullish, I wasn't considering longing something like this. Down candle here, and we've obviously been sent higher. So I like the idea of looking for a reversal lower. The problem I have is I have no idea what we're going to reach for. There's no equal lows. There's really no low resistant lows. ES, same thing. There's only higher lows and higher lows. So, I mean, you could probably have like a trend line here thinking, you know, there might be some trend line liquidity. All right. Not my favorite. And that's why when you saw my chart today, when we started the stream, I marked this up because this to me is a little bit more clear. This is a consolidation, right? So it's like, okay. So we know that there is stops on both sides of this market, right? Buy stops above this high, which have probably been triggered already. And then you have the equal lows here, as well as just general consolidation. So if there's going to be any intraday reversal, even though this is our leader, the Nasdaq, I think, has the highest probability target for a downside objective. So with that, it's hard to say, man. It really is. Did you guys watch the market review yesterday? Did I tell you that yesterday would be sloppy? Not unreadable, but very sloppy, and it was. And it was like a small opportunity to long. I tweeted about that and everything, and I'm not going to rehash that here, but it's all in the market review from yesterday. So today's probably going to be kind of like that. We had very explosive movement in the morning. Lunch did almost no retracement, and the afternoon is continuing. So what do we do? You know what I mean? Like, what do we do? I don't know. It's hard to say. It really is. I honestly do not know. I forgot I had music on. I have no idea with high conviction, like where we're going to slap today for any of the indices. Don't know. So with that, if I was, I guess, wanting to do something today, it'd probably be on a 1 minute, maybe a 5 minute. It's like if we were not streaming today, like if this was Thursday, tomorrow, I'd probably have this, and I'd probably be watching this today. I mean, I'd be doing other things, of course, probably like reading or, you know, something to that effect, but I would be cautious today, if that makes sense. I'd be more cautious today. ATM, S&P, Nasdaq, higher highs. What is ATM? Like you're taking cash out of the markets? You're like a ATM machine or what? Is that what we're doing? Oh, at the moment. Oh, okay. Look, I'm kind of young, but I'm kind of old too, okay? I'm 29. I mean, you're old, but you're young. Like, I'm stuck in this limbo of young and old at the same time, okay? I'm trying to stay hip, but I'm losing my sharpness, okay? So there's that. Watch the market review, John, and you reference your tweets a lot, which as far as I can see aren't in the Discord. No, they're not. Twitter is not Discord. I tweet because I was trying to build up my Twitter, but it's fucking hard. And then you got other people on there that are just bullshitting 20,000 followers. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, I'm calling trades all the time. Barely get any followers. And you got this one chick who's like, oh, eat ass, 25,000 followers. I'm like, I just give up. Twitter's just a different fucking breed of people. Real talk, I don't get it. I don't. You call trades before they happen, nobody cares. And then like, oh, you go bullshit, and then everybody follows you. Like, y'all don't want to trade. Y'all just want to be entertained. You know? So yeah, Twitter, like Twitter growth, I just don't understand. Don't understand it. That's why I'm saying I'm too old, bro. I'm too old. Because I wouldn't follow any of those people, but I would follow someone who is tweeting before moves happen. And I would only focus on them. I'd be like, oh, this guy or this girl is pretty good. Follow. Bell notification. Oh, this person tweeted. Oh, they're looking at highs. Oh, what's going on? Let's go look over there. Oh, shit. We got some highs. Yeah, that might be a good trade. And then boom, it runs there. It's like, dude, free fucking money, man. No income claims, but like, dude, I'm fucking handing out free money here. I don't get followers though. So I don't know. It's hard. It is difficult. I'd say that. It's probably because I don't post what's it called? Like PDFs and shit. uh like notions or whatever. People like that kind of stuff, but all people do is just rehash other shit. There's a tweet link channel you can add to Discord, and it'll post all your tweets in the Discord you should add. Would be, oh shit, Cameron, okay. If you have a video or like a link to figure out, I'll do that. And then you guys can, I guess, tweet in the Discord. Or like see the tweets in the Discord. I'll do that. I don't tweet every day though. I told you I only tweet when I know it's high probability because I don't want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I am wrong sometimes, but I try not to be. Perhaps we could see Nasdaq run up to the 1 hour imbalance, break down, and follow bearish order flow to take out sell stops below the consolidation. Like you, I've been bearish sitting on my hands. Yeah. Well, today reminds me of one of those days where, and I know I've said this time and time again, today just could be one of those days where it's just going to keep going. It's gone. And it's just going to keep trading higher and higher and higher and higher. And like, for me, it doesn't give you an opportunity to long because you're longing after a fucking 300-point move, which I don't want to do. I don't want to long because the low's here, right? And then I don't want to short because it hasn't like shown its willingness to go lower yet. So what do you do? Right now, traders are trapped short and they are absolutely getting massacred. Blowing accounts. Whose margin and why is she calling? You know? And that's happening today, easily. Anyone who shorted the CP or the PMI numbers, that was here. Anyone who shorted PMI numbers, what retracement has been offered for them to get out? What retracement? If they're stuck short, they're done. They're toast. Face gone. Gone. Twitter is reckless. It is. Beverly has the notifications. That's great. That's great. Nobody understands Twitter. Twitter's just trolls, man. That's all it is. People talking shit to one another. That's why I left, bro. I was on Twitter in 2015, 2016, and it was the worst thing ever. Oh, I trade better than you. And then I post my entries and everyone shuts the fuck up, right? Yeah. You know, it was just very top. That's why I left Twitter. That's why you see my Instagram has 9,000 and my Twitter has 2. And I just got back on it like a year ago. You know what I mean? It's like, that's why. Because it was so toxic and garbage. I'm like, this is horrible. I stayed off of it forever. You know, I barely got back on it. So it's just not this, like, social media growth is not the same as it used to be. It's not the same. You can call trades in advance all the time, and that has not done almost any good growth for me personally. So, yeah, I've kind of given up on that whole idea about running up Twitter. DMG on Discord, YouTube tutorial. Appreciate that, Cameron. Thank you, thank you. So, all the people who did blow up on Twitter were the same ones that were talking shit when I launched my book. And then now they're doing all the shit that they were blaming me for. Oh, you fucking plagiarized ICT. You did this and you did that. Okay, but now you're selling a fucking PDF for $250, right? That has all ICT shit on it. So what kind of hypocritical shit is that? My book was $36. You're selling your shit for $250, but I'm the bad guy? All right. So I'm telling you, man, Twitter's a different fucking breed, bro. Different breed. think about this for a minute. Right? Think about this. So the tier 3 membership, right? Here is $25 a month. And I don't get 100% of that. Right? YouTube gets their cut. Okay. So for you as a customer, right? If you purchase that, so that means in 10 months, right? Simple math. In 10 months, you'd spend $250. Okay. That's not bad. Right? Versus you pay for someone's $250 PDF or course that's a couple hours. Dude, how much more value are you going to get being here? 4 live streams a week, 2 market reviews a week, post charts all the time, plus the community, and all the other shit that comes in the Discord. What do you think is going to have more value? You see what I'm saying? But, you know, I mean, hey, it's not a bad business model, though. You got 20K followers, 30K followers. You hype up a course for 3 months. You launch that bitch at $250. That means every 4 people who purchase your shit, that's $1,000. So think about it. You get 100 people. What's the math on that? Out of 20K followers, right? 1% of that's 200, I think. I mean, I'm no genius. 20,000 divided by 100 is, yeah, 200 people. Okay. So let's just say you had 1% of your follower buy your shit. So 200 people times $250, 50 bands. That's $50,000. Now I see why they do that shit. You know what I mean? So I get it. Like, I understand it. But the hypocritical part is what I point out and what I laugh at. You were all talking shit. You were all doing this and doing that. And now look at you. Full circle. Just straight bitch assery, bro. But I understand it. I really do. I get it. It's just like some old school guys that I used to be in a chat with. I think I told you guys this before. You know, I was toxic, so I understand why they didn't like me, but you know, I was getting really, you know, fire entries and calling reversals and all that stuff. Everybody would go long, I'd go short, they'd be wrong, I'd be right, and it happened a lot. And so naturally people just, they didn't like that. And there was only like 1 or 2 people. It was years later that actually came to me and was like, you know what? They were like, you are a good trader. You know, I was being an asshole back then. Like, I hope you're doing well, yada, yada type shit. Only a couple people ever came back to me, like, and humbled themselves, you know? So I get it. You know, I get it. You got a large following. You could easily, you know, make a lot of money. So you do it, and I get it. But it's just the irony of it is what really gets me, you know? There was a there was a guy in who did construction here in Houston. And like, I don't have any problems with the guy, and I'm not trying to talk shit about him. But anytime he did a presentation, he would always talk about how, you know, oh, I used to do construction, but now I'm a trader. Now I do this, now I do that. And which, again, okay, great. Like, no problem. It's cool. And then he decided to go back to construction, you know? So for me, it's just ironic, man. That's all. It's like, it's kind of funny. You know, you were talking shit about construction and then you went back to it. So that I don't know. It's just interesting. Humans are just interesting in general. So, whatever. Whatever, man. Oh, it's already been an hour. I thought it's only been like 30 minutes. You guys really let me rant today. Try dropping some video clips from your streams. Maybe the algo will push it out. I know Elon is trying to make X this all-in-one type platform and wants to reward creators. I think since Elon took over, the algo has been better for sure. Well, yeah, I mean, I was running up impressions the other day, a couple weeks ago. I got almost 800,000 impressions like that first day. Because you need 5 million in 3 months. I haven't checked it in a couple of days. I'll look at it. I'm at 1.7. Yeah, I haven't did shit since then. That was Wednesday, August 2nd. That was 3 weeks ago. Yeah, it's hard. See that? 735,000 impressions on the second, and then 140, 148, and then it dropped off because I stopped like replying and everything, and then now it just went to nothing because I'm barely on it. So what I was trying to do on Twitter was replicate what I did here on these days, and it was fucking hard. So I looked at other videos that people made about their Twitter impressions and how much money they made and all that. And I think the math came out to be about $1 for every 40,000 impressions, or like maybe 50K impressions, somewhere in between there. So I looked at that and I went, okay, well, how much is this then? Like, what's 730,000 worth? And I just did the math and I'm like, bro, I'd have to spend all day, every day on Twitter just to make like a few $100 a month. And I'm just like, I'm good on that. And then on top of that, I don't even think you get paid from impressions that's not on your post. So like if you're like what I was doing over here, I was a reply guy. So I was replying to like big pages. And that's how I got so many impressions. But I don't think you get paid for that. I think if it's an original post, I think only that creator gets paid. So for me, I wouldn't make any fucking money, you know, from Twitter at least. So that's why I stopped doing it, because I'm like, I'm good. Have you still contact to some Miami educators? Yeah, I still talk to the trade house. We're still friends, bro. Now, the trade house isn't this way, but I know a lot of people in that company who, as soon as you leave, they're like, oh, fuck you. But, you know, you look, I'm not going to get into business discussions today, but I would tell you this. If your business loses 90% of your customers, you have a fucking problem. Okay? And the way you treat people is usually the number one thing. That's usually the number one thing. So when you treat people like shit, your business is going to shit. It's just the truth. That's just how it is. So there's that. And I still got to put out that communication video too. I know I keep sleeping on that. I'm going to update the leadership playlist more this year, because that is going to come in handy later on. when I start showing you guys like stuff about business and entrepreneurship and social media and stuff like that. It's all going to tie in together. Preach personal development and leadership, yet treat people like dog shit. I agree. I agree. Why do so many experienced traders switch from Forex to indices after years? I don't know. I started off in stocks. So this is like, you know, I was born in with like SPY and certain stocks and shit like that. So this is like my hometown kind of thing, you know? Like these are my roots. My roots is the stock market. I didn't get into Forex until like years later. So I'm from here. You know what I mean? I didn't start in Forex and then go elsewhere. My roots are in the stock market. Thanks, Eureka. Appreciate it. But yeah, and when we talk about relationships in business, okay? Relationships should be more important than business. Okay? And if you get your relationships correct, business will take care of itself. Think about that. Really ponder that idea. Okay? You're trying to focus on sales. You're trying to like pitch people. You're trying to get them to buy some shit or whatever. You don't do that by being salesy. Okay? You do that by being a good man, as Marcus would say. I posted that on my story earlier, right? Stop talking about what a good man should be. Just be one. When you're a genuine person, when you genuinely care about somebody else, that's when you can easily sell them something that you want to sell them, right? My membership here is very cheap. I did that on purpose. My live streams are free. I did that on purpose too. Because some of you guys aren't members here. But I allow you to be here. Right? I could easily, matter of fact, I'm going to do it right now. Watch this. Okay? 2 clicks. 2 clicks and you guys are gone. Right? Because now it's members only. I can do that in literally 2 seconds, right? So now anyone who's not a member can't type into the chat. I have the power to do that. Now I'm going to undo that and go back to the subscribers side so you guys can still chat. But I'm saying, like, I purposely leave it open. Even though you're not a paying member of this channel, I still allow you to be here for the live sessions. Right? Because I genuinely care about your education as a trader or whatever, bullshit that we talk about. Okay? So, that to me, I think is what matters more than me trying to say, man, fuck them. They don't want to buy a membership. Fuck them. Turn the stream off. Like, I don't want to be that way. You would think business wise, well, yeah, if you make it members only, then they're more likely to buy a membership. Well, you might be right. Some people might think that way. Or you could say, you know what? I'll let them be here. I'll give them free videos. I'll give them free live streams. And if they find it valuable enough, they'll buy a membership on their own. I'm not going to sell them today. I'm not going to sell them tomorrow. I might not ever sell them, period. But if they like it and if they want to be a part of our community, they want to get in the Discord, then they'll do it themselves. They'll do it on their own. The content is going to sell itself. Okay? It's just like cocaine. Cocaine is going to sell itself. So if you guys vibe with that, drop a 1. Drop a 1 in the chat, and then I also want to make sure it's back on too. Hopefully I didn't fuck it up by messing with all the buttons. It should be subscriber only, so you should be able to still be here. Yeah, monologues got still be able to come in. So all right, great, cool, very nice, very nice. So if we take a look here, if we end up trading lower and we leave this high up here with some conviction, that might lead us to go lower here. And the only reason I say that is because I'm looking at the highs and they do not match up. They don't match up. Look at this. You have a high here at 1230, lower Dow. You have a high here at 1230, but then you have a higher S&P, and then the Nasdaq is also slightly higher. So if that is distribution and the Dow is weak, we may have made our high. And if we have, great. But in order to convince me that we're going to go here, we would have to, again, have some sort of conviction to the downside on like a small time frame, and then that retracement should send it lower here, is what I'm thinking. That's a thought process. Okay. Oh, the one is because we were talking a little bit about business, and I was saying treat people with respect and don't, become like, don't try to convince them that they need a membership or whatever it is that you're selling. Some people sell solar panels or lotions and potions or whatever. It's like, you can sell anything, but for me, the easiest way to sell somebody something is to be their friend first. Genuinely care about them. Don't come off like I'm going to pretend like I care about this person. They're going to see right through your fuckery and your bullshit. Genuinely care about other people, right? It was Maya Angelou who said, people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel, right? So if people feel safe, if they feel secure, if they feel like you actually give a fuck, that's when they're going to go, okay, great. This person is awesome, or this business is awesome, or the gym is awesome. I want to now purchase a gym membership. I want to purchase a tier 3 membership and get into the Discord. It's like, I don't need to come on here every day and tell you all the benefits and beg you to join. I'm not going to do that. You don't want to join? Don't fucking join. You want to watch another YouTuber? Go ahead. There's plenty of YouTubers on here. There's plenty of live analysts on here, live trading on here. There's plenty of that. And that was kind of the whole point of I was saying, if you guys vibe with that, drop a 1, and that's why they were dropping 1s. What's good, Andreas? Love the bounce back bootcamp you guys put together with Zach Rock back then. Will you make an entire Smart Money playlist for members on your channel in the near future? No, I won't. I probably will do like really quick videos on some of the basic stuff, but at the same time, though, if I do that, I don't want to give the impression like it's easy. Like, oh, you learned what an imbalance is. You learned a mitigation. Like, all right, now you can go slap the markets around. Like, I don't want you guys to get that vibe. You know what I mean? And so I will put out more training in the future, but right now the market reviews is where you're going to get the most value, in my opinion. Let me ask you that, chat. We have almost 40 people on here. I don't know how many are members, but let me ask you guys, and this will be an open-ended question instead of the poll. Where do you find the most value on this channel? Is it the Discord? Is it the discipline challenge? Is it the market reviews? Is it the free recordings? Is it the tweets? I mean, like, what do you find most valuable? If you had to go out, you don't have to do this, but if you were about to go door to door right now, selling memberships to this channel, what would be your trump card? What would be the the last, you know, I told them about this and about this, but all right, now I'm gonna give them the absolute best thing about this channel where now they have to buy it, right? What is that for you? What's the one thing that you would say, man, this is what I need and I don't need anything else? Or I would want this more than anything else. What do you think is the most valuable to you? Could be the live streams as well. I mean, anything. We do a lot of stuff here. Any of it. Beverly says the market reviews. Naruto says the discipline challenge and the members only videos / streams. Yeah, some of the streams I did turn to member only, which is kind of like a market review, but it's just long as fuck. Market reviews are clutch. Discord communities fire also. Live streams are lit too because I'm available and watching the markets already. Katarina said it's an integration between the streams, market reviews, and finishing the Discord because we can interact better with you and all the members of the community. Felix says the live streams. Andres says it's all good value in its own way, but if I had to choose, it's the live and market reviews. Tiago says the streams. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So what we're going to do here. Well, you know what? I'm hungry, you know? I should have ate lunch before we hopped on here, but I didn't. I was doing a bunch. I was cleaning up stuff, moving stuff around, paperwork, you know, all the shit that I hate. Cleaning, getting rid of all the empty water bottles. I was doing that, and now I almost regret it because I'm hungry as fuck. I'm starving Marvin right now. I'm starving Marvin. So my thought process is we don't have too much on the higher time frame here, so it is hard to really say like why this should be the high unless I'm missing something, unless I'm overlooking something, which I probably am. But I'm going to stick with the idea that I told you where if this is our high, if we leave this with some conviction, I could easily see us trading below these lows. Now, what we have here in this case, we have this imbalance here. So if we want to be bearish, this would need to be traded through. It would need to disrespect this imbalance. The 1 minute really doesn't have a lot. If anything, I need to turn the music down. There's a possible mitigation here because you have the high, low, higher, high. But that's why I said possible because, you know, for me to be convinced to short and what to stop at this high, you know, there needs to be something on the higher time frame here, and that is what I am not entirely sure we have. Like, what is over here? What is over there? And even the regular trading hours, 2:30 to 8:30. So we have a, let me see. Yeah. God, I don't know if I would go with that. I don't know if I would go with that. This is a pretty large gap on the 1 hour. Anyway, okay. We might have that. Is that enough for me? I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Remember, this is 100% counter not trend, but it's counter bias, right? Today's been bullish AF. And if we're trying to, we're trying to fucking pick tops in a marketplace, okay? Which I don't always suggest to do, but that is what it's looking like. So I'm going to put an alert down here as well. Now, if I were to tweet, what I would say here is probably 15166 could be on the table for today, but I need conviction. And I would probably tweet that here. Because it's like, okay, remember, this is that 5-minute imbalance, which we want to see disrespected. I don't want to long this. I don't want to long this. I want to see this get wrecked. And then go, okay, well, did we leave anything behind? There's a 15-minute imbalance here too. So I'm wondering, and again, I'm just slightly nervous because, obviously there's people watching and you don't want to fuck it up when people are watching. You don't want to be a goofball in front of people. But again, if you guys were not here, if it was just me, that's probably what I would assume is okay. I'd probably be watching the 15, the 5, and the 1 minute at the same time. To be fair, that's probably what I would do. Triple screen. I put videos about that, free videos. It's not gatekeep. It's just there. So I'd split this, because I would want to watch all three at the same time. Because I'd say, okay, well, we got 10 minutes left for this candle. Let's see if that 15 minutes left open. And then, 5 minute, let's watch it. Same, imbalance or similar imbalance. Okay, cool. And then that 1 minute has the mitigation here. So I'd want to watch all three just to make sure they kind of confirm one another. And then if that goes in alignment, this, again, could easily see 5 or 15,166. You know what I mean? 1 hour imbalance 2 on the higher time frame. If the 1 hour is a high time frame to you, it is to me. For someone who likes 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, the 1 hour is very high time frame. On Discord, the discipline challenge is definitely awesome because it obligates us to actually do our homework and put to practice what we learn. Live analysis for sure, and being able to ask questions as soon as it comes to mind. The Discord too, which I'm hoping to make more use of soon. Yeah, I agree. Equal highs at 15,444.5. Oh, that's way up there. Unless you're looking at CFDs. Possible mitigation on your. I don't even think I looked at currencies today yet. I don't think I looked at currencies one time today. If I did, it was probably a brief skim through. Oh, that reminds me, silver. Silver. Oh, man. What did we say yesterday? What did we say yesterday on silver? We said I wanted to see higher pricing. That motherfucker did almost 4% today. Almost 4. I wasn't expecting that, but that's nice. That's nice. That's pretty cool, man. Literally on yesterday's stream. Did I not? Did I not say, oh yeah, hopefully we get higher silver because I have physical silver. Hopefully we go higher. 4% today. Well, 3.9. I mean, come on. Come on, man. Well, why long silver? Well, again, this was pointed out to you. Gold was below this low here. Right? Gold was below that. Silver didn't do it. So what's the more stronger asset? Silver. But everybody talks about gold. They don't want to talk about silver. Well, do what you got to do. You can still trade gold. They'll still trade like generally together. It's just silver right now is shitting on gold. Straight up. And DeLeon, I just explained that. Lower low on gold. high or low on silver. Plus, I'm biased because I have physical silver. I don't know how many coins I have. Got a couple bars and a brick. The old 100-ounce brick. Got a couple of those too. Couple of those. Oh, yeah. And that's right. Nicholas, what time frame are you looking at? That was my next question for you. Remember, specific. We got to be specific. All right, trading view. Here we go. So what I would do on your chart is I would screenshot this today on Nasdaq. 1 minute time frame. Yeah, not the 2 minute, maybe the 1 minute. I would screenshot this today. So by itself, okay, so this means not bringing in any other time frame. What I'm expecting if we were to like short, oh, I guess that would have stopped at that high. I don't think this is going to be a 1 to 3. The 1 to 3 is not going to be until that. I would screenshot that. Price is respecting that imbalance though. So that might not be good. But just from a 1 minute perspective, again, don't take this as a live trade. Okay, I know some of y'all do that shit. Even I tell you not to. Okay, this essentially goes against one of the rules, right? Of not shorting the most bullish asset. And that's essentially what this would be doing. And that's why I do not want you to take it live. But we are going to study it though. And see. We're going to take a gander and take a look. Okay. So I don't even know if that would 15, 219 and a quarter. 219 and a quarter. Yeah, that should be in right there. From the like idea perspective. Now, and see, here's the thing. And here's why I told you I would want to be watching the 15 minute. Because this shit right here, I don't like that. Because we came all the way down and then came all the way back up, like in that same candle. So for me, the 15 minute, it didn't really leave open that imbalance. It did on the 5 minute. So like this looks pretty solid. The 1 minute and then the 5 minute in here. So like that's why I would probably trust this stop. So I screenshot the 1 minute and I'd probably screenshot this here too. To do it before and after. Okay? But again, I'm telling you, if this gets stopped out, let's just assume for a second this is wrong. It trades up here and like it stops us out. Okay. Why would it be wrong? Well, again, the higher time frame, I don't have the most confidence in this gap that we've traded into. That's number one. Number two, today's our strongest asset. Okay, so there's a little bit of, reluctancy there. And because of that, I'm telling you not to short this with a real account. Okay? Willow with 69 lots. Oh, Jesus. My boy went all in there. Went all in. All the above, but I love the ability to access the recordings unlimited times. Love being live. Also, your accessibility value gives priceless. I appreciate that. Nicholas said 5 minute. All right, we'll look at it, but I just want to give this a couple minutes. Because I want to look at this and I want to walk you through what I'm thinking as this is panning out. Because right now I'm thinking this should not even get close to the stop. And what I'm looking for is no longer the 15-minute. So we're going to drop that. What I would rely on this very moment would literally be this imbalance here on the 5-minute. So I would say, okay, I do not want price to close above that. So I wouldn't want it to trade higher, like let's say 15,225 and then close. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that. I would also be looking at the other indices. This looks terrible. Dow also looks terrible. What is this? What the fuck? Disgusting. So again, the Nasdaq having this, that to me is more, I trust that more. Okay. My boy got the Lambo lots. I get it. Although I can tell you, if I put on a 70 lot, I probably would die. Probably just die. I'd be so nervous. Like right now, I'd be like, oh shit, break even, break even, break even. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like so much money per point. I'd be like break even like right now. I'd be like, oh, we wicked in. All right, break even, break even. It would just be too much. My heart wouldn't be able to handle it. As many energy drinks as I've had in my lifetime, with the stress of a 69 lot or a 70 lot, shit. No, I'd be done. I'd be toast. Heart would give out. And that would be the end. That would be the end of this YouTube channel. When this TP hits my account, we'll have 420K in it, and I'm buying a Lambo. I like it. I like it. You know, that's the thing about the newer Corvettes. I love Corvettes. My favorite, like, sports car. I saw one when I was a kid. Instantly, I was hooked. Loved it. And then, like, the last 3-4 years, they tried to make the Corvettes look like Lamborghinis. They're just like Lamborghini wannabes. I mean, they look cool. But when you see them from a distance, it's like, is that a Lambo or a Corvette? That I don't care for. All right. That intro looks pretty good. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. That looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. And this is why I listen to music all the time too. When I'm trading, like looking at shit, I'm like, all right, I gotta listen to music because I can't read. I don't want to read and watch the market. I can't do that. I can't concentrate on both. I'm just not built that way. But music I can listen to and vibe in. I was listening to Sleep Token yesterday. Does anybody here listen to Sleep Token? Will not be able to stand the emotional roller coaster. Bro, if I had a 70 lot on this, I wouldn't even blink. I would just be watching. And just, I would barely blink at all. I'd probably have to put my glasses on. Blue light glasses. And I would just be staring at this. I'd be like, all right, the 5-minute fucking looks good. The 1 minute, oh, break even, break even. I'd be like hawking this shit, bro. I'd be Hawkeyes right now. I'd be like, oh, imbalance. Oh, they should respect that. Oh, I'm break even. That's what I'd be doing. That lot size would be so heavy. I wouldn't want it to come back near my entry. You know what I mean? So that's why we don't over leverage, man. That's why we never over leverage. So what I'm thinking is the entry's good. I want to see it make a new low here from this candle. Okay. If we can close below that low, I would feel pretty good about it. I think if we just trade back up to the entry, I wouldn't feel great about that. I wouldn't feel good about it. So we'll give it a few more candlesticks. You know, it's how you gotta do it. Some people take a trade and they walk away and they go do shit. I'm like, man, fuck that. I can't do that. Can I do that? No. No. My drink too. Oh, look at that Dow. Weak sauce. Weak sauce. It traded up into that. That's interesting. Right there. Smacked right into that. 15-minute here as well. Oh, and that's not seen in the regular trading hours. That's weird. All right, whatever. Go back to electronic. Because again, I wanna walk you through this like we really did take it. But I told you not to, because I'm not a licensed financial advisor and this is not financial advice by any means. We are studying price action. Studying price action. You learned a lot, Nicholas? Great. That's good, man. What'd you learn? I used to hate that shit. My dad would ask me that when I got home. What'd you learn in school today, son? Nothing. I didn't learn shit. I learned that I don't like school, Dad. That's what I learned. Learned that this is bullshit. That's what I fucking learned. All right. So we've tiptoed below the low. I want to see us like really close below that. At least on a 5-minute, at least. That's to say if we don't just dump straight to 15,166. Nice little down candle here. That looks pretty good, though. That looks pretty solid. 137 coming up on the final hour in 22 minutes and some change. Right? Yeah. Let's briefly take a look at the S&P. It's also a little bit lower. Again, I don't know what it's going to reach for other than this trend line here. You know, I don't trust that. The Dow, same thing. All right, this little trend line here. And it has almost no retracement lower. Yikes. Big yikes there. So, again, we'll keep watching this. So, I would feel good about a break even at this point. It's kind of small time frame to take partials. I mean, it's halfway. It's halfway. Oh, the 1 to 3 is a little bit lower. There's your 1 to 3. So it's about, I can't tell, almost halfway. So this might be a small partial, even though it's only been like 10, 15 minutes. Again, studying purposes. Okay? Studying purposes. This would be probably a good partial. Right into those down candles as well, in case we're wrong and it flies higher. I want to go break even to reduce risk. I want to take partials to get paid, and then I want to stay patient for this to run lower. That's the idea. Oh, shit. Okay. So why would we want to do that? Reduce risk, get paid, and then be patient to see if we can get paid more. Because we could still be wrong. We could still be wrong. What do y'all think? Y'all think it looks good? But what happens after consolidation, but live buildup of mitigation? Yeah. Well, I mean, this is not the greatest mitigation setup I've ever seen. It's not the greatest. I mean, it looks good so far. But this is still in the realm of I could still be wrong. We left a small imbalance behind here, but this candle would have to form in order for that to be in a balance here. We closed slightly below the low. So, again, I would probably be a break even. The S&P slightly lower, running into that down candle there. Dow is kind of in its own universe at the moment. But yeah, from here, I would not want to see it trade all the way back to the entry. And I would be okay with getting out at a break even at that particular point, especially if I've paid myself here. I know it doesn't seem like a lot of points, but again, the whole point is to grow accounts, not to always hit home runs. Now, you can hold the full position if you want, but then you can't be mad if this comes out as a break even and you had a chance to pay yourself but didn't. Then you can't be mad at yourself. You can't be mad at the market. You can't be mad at me. You can't be mad at anybody because you accepted that. You know what I mean? Does it make sense? Drop a 1. Drop a 1 if it makes sense. We might as well be here for the final hour. We may need to take 5. Grab a drink. You know, use the restroom, all that good shit. All that good shit. This is the boring part. This is the boring part now, right? We sat here, waited for something. We finally got it. Now we got to wait for it to pan out. Either it will or it won't. So, you know, what do? You wait. You just gotta wait. Where's 12 o'clock? Right there. Ooh. That is our 12 afternoon session. I like it. What are your thoughts on gold with no bottom wick on the daily candle? That is a great question. I don't know. I like, well, gold is our laggard right now on the daily time frame. Probably the weekly as well. I don't know. I'd have to look at it. But the thing is, candles that don't have wicks, okay, I see them as imbalances at a minimum, right? So the thing about candles like that is they can be left open for an absurd amount of time. So just because you see that, it doesn't mean the market has to go there immediately. It's just like equal highs and lows. Equal highs can be left open for a long time. Long time. And it's the same thing with the candle that has like no wick on it. And the market doesn't have to go back there. It's just like gaps. When you see gaps in stocks, it happens all the time. But the market doesn't have to, fill in every gap in the market. Context is required. Okay. So it could come down there or it could be left open for an absurd amount of time. But since we have diverged here with silver and gold, I like the idea that they should trade higher. That's what I'm going to go with. Unless I'm wrong and then it comes down, then okay, I'm wrong. So if you see maybe bearish metals and that daily, no wick is a possible downside, then I could see that. I could see that. Wow. The Dow is still trading lower while the others are kind of flat right now. Interesting. Interesting. 146. So it might be final hour is probably going to see some volatility. But remember, I would not be surprised if this was break even. And if that does break even here, I probably wouldn't go back in today. Okay? I probably would not go back into the market. It's late in the day. The day's been predominantly bullish, and we're looking for shorts and a really big fucking up day. So, there's a lot of reasons why this may not work out, is what I'm telling you. Okay? So you cannot be surprised. We knew that going into it. So it looks like it's hitting this up candle. I would be interested to see where the next couple candles go from here. I don't know. You know what we didn't look at either? We didn't look at the triple Qs. That is what we also neglected. But it has the same shit. These lows. Oh, it didn't take out a previous high. That should be noted. But same thing, right? So imbalance here, and then it's hitting this up candle. I would want that to be respected. I wouldn't want to, again, I wouldn't want us to break even after this. Right? So essentially what I'm looking at again is this up candle here. I'm looking to see, does the market respect that or does it not? I don't know. It's either going to push through that or respect it. If the bias is short, it should respect it. And again, that's probably another reason why I would be break even, because it's like, okay, if we are in a bearish market, it shouldn't trade past the up candle. So in that instance, if it does and we're wrong, then I don't want to lose money on that transaction. Okay. Again, I'm just giving you what I'm looking at, what I'm watching. We're trying to see if the algorithm is going to redeliver price lower or like take price and jam it lower. That's what we're watching. We're trying to see if the algorithm is going to offer lower prices. It would be a little shaky though. If the last hour starts near our entry, that I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want that. Okay. So yeah, the risk reward tool, you can't have like a negative. Like I can't take the stop and bump it lower than what the entry is. I can't do that. But I'm telling you, like, we'll just draw it in that sense. Just to give you a visual. I'd be like 1 point. I'd be 1 point in. Does that make sense? And that 1 point's really just to cover commissions. Not much else. And we're giving it some breathing room. Like we're not going to take our stop and then just jam it here. Like I'm not doing that. You could do that to lock in, but you know, I'm not doing it. What did we say? 1925? So it'd be 1825. We got so many fucking numbers up here I can't even see. It's because it is old shit. I'm gonna take this off. Okay, there we go. So like that's what I would be at right now. Okay. Final hour in 8 minutes. Matter of fact, I am gonna take a quick break, grab a drink. I won't be long. All right, I'm back. I told you that wouldn't take long. It's back in that up candle. Yeesh. I don't know about that. Do not know about that, big fella. Again, we'll look at Euro here in just a minute, but I want to see what this does. It looks like it's coming for that BE. Looks like it. Looks like it's closing right in that up candle too. That's a yikes. We haven't seen the 15-minute and we haven't seen the 1 minute either. I wouldn't want to watch the 1 minute at the moment. We've pretty much kept on a 5 minute here. But yeah, I mean, it closed right again here, like right in that up candle. That is probably not good for shorts. Probably not good. We're coming up here on that final hour too. In just 4 minutes. Back into that imbalance. I wouldn't trust it. And that's why, again, not trade advice, not financial advice, nothing like that. But this is exactly why my stop would be at break even or like 1 point into my direction. Okay. I know I've said this time and time again, but you know, we're watching price, we're studying price. Okay. We discuss taking partials because as this candle was forming, right? What are we talking about? We said, look, there's still a chance we could be wrong. There's still a chance it could trade higher. And I don't want to take a loss on that when there's no necessity for that. If we took a partial here, then we're paid. If we're break even, then there's no risk involved anymore. Unless you get slipped, which I highly doubt. Okay? So now it's just a matter of patience, right? All right, well, what are we watching? Order flow. Is it going to be bearish? Right now, again, it tapped back into that imbalance. And now we're just going to see. Is it going to come up to get us out? Or is it going to trade lower? The S&P barely higher. The Dow is doo-doo. No surprise. And it's the Nasdaq that looks like it has a deeper retracement on the upside. Is that a surprise, though? Nasdaq was our most bullish index today. So is it a surprise? It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Let me ask you guys a question, and this will be our poll today. Do you guys listen to music while you're here? When you watch this YouTube or even like videos or other channels, other streamers, do you guys listen to music too? Or do you just have them on? $1:45 to $3:45. That's about 2 hours. Okay. Baroque or some sort of electronic music soft in the background. I agree. I wouldn't want to listen to someone named Baroque though. Can't go rich listening to Baroque. You know what I mean? That's how I think of it. That's how I think of it. You know, I actually took a music class and we had to listen to a lot of classical music. It's not bad, but I don't understand it. Like, I don't get the vibes, you know, like the storyline and the emotions and all that. I don't get none of that shit. I don't, you know, like it doesn't make, I don't think I just get the experience. I don't get the value out of it that it was intended for. You know what I mean? I think with classical music, I would probably have to go to an in-person concert. You know, like see the fucking guy doing his shit and seeing the violinists and all that. Like, I think that would be much better because I don't get that experience listening to just the music. It's about the frequencies. I get it. Hear my background music. In days not so volatile and more discussion based, I like to organize with some John Fam. Oh, nice. Very nice. Well, I can talk your ear off. I've been talking to you for 2 hours now. There's science behind it. It's good for learning. Makes you more receptive. Info. I'm not an expert, but we're checking. Oh no, they have YouTube channels based on that. Hertz, frequencies, all that kind of shit. It's not unheard of. I listened to Humanity's Last Breath. And Currents. If you know who that is. You want me to play a song from them? I'll do it. Let me just turn this up a little bit. I'll play Humanity's Last Breath. There's a song. Oh my God. There's a song called Death Spiral. I don't know if you're ready for that. And I'm definitely going to get a copyright on this video. Let's do it. Oh, it's fucking loading. Are you serious? There we go. I listen to this all day. right, anyway, that's enough. I don't want y'all to fucking leave here because I'm playing this crazy music. He didn't even get to screaming yet, but all right, so we got back below this low, but dude, we've came right back up again. That's not good. Like what we just did right now, that's not good. At this point, I could see a break even. Because now it's trading back to that imbalance again. Yikes. And it looks like it's gonna, it looks like it's literally fixing to smack that. Because I think it's 1 point, so it had to be 18.25. And right there, see, bam. So now it would be break even. Okay, and I'd walk away. So what has transpired here? And you guys watched this, right? We talked about what? Price coming down, taking a partial, then break even. We were patient enough to watch this unfold. Then we said the final hour is coming, right? And then look what happened. It started to trade lower and then bam, came right back up. And I would no longer trust this for a short. It's still good, don't get me wrong. But would I want to short this right now? No. I would leave this alone and be done. Okay? So that means for your before and after, I would still wait for the end of the day. I would still keep this on here and assume like, okay, well, we took a screenshot and then walked away. Like, what happened? So like, let's say, for example, you come back and the market, you know, it did its thing and then like it does this. So I would look at that like, you know what? What did the market do? Well, it gave you a good entry and it gave you a lower low, but then it went against you. So what is the learning, I guess, gig here? Like, what would I learn from that? That the market usually gives you an opportunity to get out before it, you know, you take a stop, right? Before you get stopped out. And as far as, oh, look at that. Look at this. We have a higher low on the Nasdaq and we have a lower low on the S&P. That's noteworthy. The Dow, it did come below a recent low. I probably wouldn't note that, but I would definitely note this, right? S&P trading lower, Nasdaq not. That's not a good sign to be in a short. And then look what happened. Next candle forms, it gets sent. Okay. So if this was still an original idea, I would probably assume it's going to get stopped out. All right. And now you see why I am the type of trader who goes break even after a new low. That's a partial. Okay. Because what was this right here? A little over 1-to-1. So it's like, okay, you're not going to close, you know, your whole position at a 1-to-1. Probably not. But it's like, how would you feel? Again, I said this earlier. How would you feel if you got in I mean, dude, holy shit. There was almost no drawdown on that, right? We drew that risk reward as it was going up, right? So not even 2 minutes later, blue screens, okay? And you feel good, you feel great, right? And then how do you feel now that your screen is red? If you didn't take partials and break even, now you're in the red, right? Now it's like, oh shit. This is why. Okay? This is why I go break even. Because in my mind, this shouldn't happen. Okay. To me, it should have broke lower, retraced, and then got sent lower. That's what I think should have happened. But before this even formed, we talked about how if we were wrong, why would we be? Strongest index. I didn't trust the 1 hour like gap up here. I didn't trust it enough. And now you kind of see why. Now you kind of see why. Also, at the same time, if you were still bullish on this, I don't know why people would still be bullish. But let's just say you were. This is a low, high, lower low. And now this is trading through that and back into it. So this could almost be seen as a mitigation to go long. And so would I want to stay in a short position if this could be a potential long? Hell no. And I'd want to get out. All right. So that, again, I want you to wait for the market to close at 3 p.m., the stock exchange at least. Then update the screenshot from here, right? We screenshot it in here, and then wherever it goes, screenshot after. You want to have it before and after, and then you want to see what takes place. Because maybe it grabs this high and then dumps lower. I don't know. Okay? I have no idea what this final hour wants to do. I wanted to see lower. It's not doing that. Okay, great. If we took partials and broke even, then it wasn't an entirely wasted day. But trying to force something here, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. All right. So since that has happened and we've been here for just over 2 hours, that is what I'm going to leave you guys with. All right. So hopefully you guys learned something. I will be here on Friday, same time, same place. And then tomorrow, Thursday, is our tier 2 and higher market review. All right. With that being said, if you're not a tier 3 member, you can upgrade or sign up as a tier 3 member today. You can do that. You get the Discord channel that has the community chat, charts, the lounge, voice channel, book recommendations. We'll do some exclusive live streams probably on Thursdays because that's the day that we don't do anything. I'll still have to figure that out. But ultimately, you get the market reviews, which you guys said earlier was a big part of, you know, the value that you get here. So I'll leave it up to you. But that's going to be it for me. All right. So y'all be good. Stay blessed. Willow, tell Baby Pips I said hello. And I'll see you guys on Friday. And I got to find the non-copyright music. Hopefully they don't get me for the first 20 seconds of that one song. I didn't monetize the stream anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get my Amazon package today too. I'm really excited for that.